Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Mike here, and today we've got breaking news out of Washington, D.C., something that's going to impact millions of Americans directly. President Donald Trump has just made a major announcement regarding a brand new law that's sending shockwaves across the country. Whether you're retired, working, or on benefits like Social Security, SSI, or SSDI, this one affects you in some way. So, let's break it all down. What's in this new law, who benefits, what changes are coming in October, and why this could reshape America's economy and household budgets almost overnight. And money moves. Truth behind $400 inflation checks vanishing for Americans with outstanding debt, full blackout. Wells Fargo confirms all 4,300 locations will be closed for 24 hours in weeks. House that Amazon's two-bedroom tiny home comes with tons of natural light for under $10,000. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of these major updates coming out every single day. So here's what's going on. President Trump announced a new piece of legislation this week that focuses on strengthening the U.S. economy, supporting American workers, and pushing back against foreign manufacturing. The law introduces a series of tariffs and policy changes that are meant to encourage more domestic production and protect American industries. But it also has wide-reaching effects that could touch everything from the cost of medicine to furniture, food, and transportation. Under this new measure, the U.S. government will now impose a 100% tariff on imported, branded, or patented pharmaceutical products. What that means is simple. If a drug company manufactures overseas and then sells its products in America, they'll have to pay double the cost to import it here, unless they start making it in the United States. This policy, which is into effect October 1st, is being called one of the most aggressive trade and health-related moves in decades. Now you might be asking, okay Jimmy, why does this matter to me? Here's the deal. The price of goods is connected. When companies face higher import taxes, they pass those costs on to you, the consumer. For example, a 100% tariff literally means double the cost. If a medication costs $200, it could soon cost $400. The Trump administration argues this is a necessary short-term pain for long-term gain. The idea being to force companies to move jobs and manufacturing back home. So this law isn't just about tariffs. It's about reshaping America's economy, moving from dependence on foreign countries to rebuilding U.S. industry. Millions of jobs could be affected by this change, but so could millions of wallets. The announcement didn't stop at pharmaceuticals. Trump also revealed a 25% tariff on imported heavy trucks, a 50% tariff on kitchen supplies and cabinets, and a 30% tariff on furniture products, all starting October 1st as well. These industries, according to the administration, have been undercut by cheap imports for decades, hurting American manufacturers and costing jobs. In short, the goal here is to rebuild what Trump calls Made in America pride. However, many experts are already warning that these new tariffs could raise costs for U.S. households, especially for those on fixed incomes, including Social Security and SSI beneficiaries, since inflation tends to hit essentials like medicine, food, and furniture hardest. When questioned about whether these tariffs could make life harder for low-income families and retirees, officials close to the White House said this: "These changes are strategic. Yes, there will be short-term effects, but in the long run, it will rebuild American jobs, stabilize production, and create a more secure economy." They argue that tariff revenue, now estimated at $30 billion per month, will be partially redirected to support working families, farmers, and retirees. That's why many expect new relief proposals to follow, possibly including stimulus-style rebate checks or expanded benefit adjustments through Social Security and SNAP. The law also includes a mechanism to assist American farmers who've been hit by trade disruptions, especially those impacted by China's reduced soybean purchases. Trump has ordered the Treasury Department to use a portion of the new tariff money to directly support farmers who've lost income. And for seniors, there's talk of redirecting tariff revenue to help offset higher costs for medicine and essentials. potentially in the form of cost of living boosts or direct payments to those on fixed benefits. The average American household is currently estimated to be paying around $2,400 more per year because of inflation and rising import costs. This new policy could either worsen that or lead to new programs to balance it out. Economists are split. Supporters say these tariffs could reignite American manufacturing and reduce dependency on overseas suppliers, especially for critical goods like medicine and medical equipment. But critics warn it's going to raise prices, at least for now, and could even strain industries like healthcare and logistics that depend heavily on imported materials. One expert said, if pharmaceutical companies can't absorb the 100% tariff, they'll raise prices, and that means ordinary Americans will pay more at the pharmacy. That's why the administration's plan to use tariff revenue for relief checks is drawing attention. It could soften the blow while keeping the long-term goal intact. This all comes as Washington faces another looming government shutdown. Congress has just days to pass a new spending plan. Trump has warned that if Democrats and Republicans can't reach an agreement, the government could shut down, potentially delaying federal payments, benefits, and agency operations. Democrats are pushing for renewed Affordable Care Act subsidies to keep health insurance affordable for millions, while Republicans are demanding spending cuts and refusing to expand government programs. If no agreement is reached, the shutdown could affect Social Security processing, VA offices, IRS operations, and SNAP benefits. However, Trump has assured Americans that Social Security checks will still go out even during a shutdown, a promise that's been widely discussed on Capitol Hill. Now, here's where this law ties into everyday Americans, especially seniors and those on disability benefits. If tariff revenues are redirected into federal assistance programs, it could mean more funding for benefit adjustments. In fact, analysts are speculating that this move might support a new round of cost of living increases, potentially in addition to the standard COLA adjustment expected in 2025. There's also talk about using part of these revenues for energy assistance and food security grants, helping those on SSI, SSDI, and Social Security handle higher household costs. So while this surprise new law may sound like a big global economic play, it could eventually lead to extra financial relief for millions of Americans struggling with higher prices. This is about more than tariffs. Trump's move is part of a larger strategy to reshape how America does business, rewarding domestic production, rebuilding local industries, and reclaiming supply chains that were lost overseas. Supporters call it a reset moment for the U.S. economy, one that prioritizes the American worker. Critics call it a risky gamble that could push prices even higher before things stabilize. Either way, the numbers don't lie. This new law will impact everyone, directly or indirectly, from the price of furniture and cars to your next trip to the pharmacy. From saving up for a mortgage to being accepted for a bank loan, it's just got a whole lot easier with Amazon. Now you can buy a house at the click of the button thanks to the rise in tiny homes. The online retailer is selling a tiny home for just $9,199. The incredible home looks like a cozy log cabin and is finished with modern white panels. It can be completely customized to what you need and can be made with up to 2 bedrooms inside. It also comes with a set of stairs leading to a small patio so you can enjoy summer evenings. The house has plenty of windows as well as glass doors so you get tons of natural light. Coming with a triangle roof, the mobile prefabricated tiny house is made with high-strength steel, making it earthquake-resistant, pressure-resistant, and wind-resistant. Manufacturers of the building say it is easy to build and only requires necessary internal decoration and connection to power, making it super speedy to put to use. Assembly of the house can be completed with 3 to 5 people, and it comes with a 1-year warranty. The company provides installation videos and online guidance to ensure a smooth and hassle-free experience. House That. The e-commerce site also sells a portable and foldable tiny house with a living room, kitchen, bathroom, and bedroom. The home can be 20 feet or 40 feet and comes on wheels for easy transportation. Plus, the home, including the roof, is completely foldable, which means you can change the interior layout too. Made from steel plates with insulation built in, the manufacturers say the tiny home can stand for at least 30 years. Tiny homes have boomed in popularity in the United States over the past decade, mainly down to affordability and sustainability reasons, and the desire for minimalist living. They offer a path to homeownership for those unable to afford larger properties or who wish to avoid debt. Starting October 1st, the new tariffs officially take effect. Here's what that means for you. Prices for imported prescription drugs could rise significantly. Furniture and home goods may become more expensive. U.S. manufacturers might start expanding operations and hiring domestically. And we could see a follow-up plan, possibly involving direct payments or credits, to help Americans cope with the new costs. If the administration follows through on its promise to give back tariff revenue, we could see rebate-style checks or credits, similar to previous stimulus programs. So, to sum it all up, Trump's new law is designed to protect U.S. industries, bring jobs back home, and strengthen the economy. But in the short term, it's likely to raise prices and affect millions of Americans, especially those living on fixed incomes. If you rely on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or SNAP, this story is one to watch closely, because the next step could be new relief measures aimed at helping offset the rising cost of living. We'll continue following this story day by day. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next update, especially if the administration announces a new payment, check, or benefit program tied to this new law. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Drop a comment below and let me know. Do you think these tariffs are a good idea? Will they help rebuild America or just make prices worse in the short run? Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.